With the score locked at 1-1 and the game deep into stoppage time, Flackwell Heath make one final push. In heartbreaking fashion, the late goal sends Flackwell Heath into the final, knocking Beaconsfield Town at the Berks and Bucks Cup at the semi-final stage. A loose ball drops kindly in the box and Michael Harding pounces, smashing it home in the dying seconds. A devastating end to what had become one of the club's most pivotal matches of the season. Beaconsfield Town Football Club, nicknamed the Rams, is a semi-professional team based in the county of Buckinghamshire. The club was formed in 1994 through the merger of Beaconsfield United and Slough Youth Club Old Boys, two local teams who had struggled to stay afloat individually but joined forces to create a more sustainable future. The Rams play their home fixtures at Holloway's Park and currently compete in the Southern League Division 1 Central at Step 4 of the English football pyramid, following relegation last season from the Southern League Premier South. Like many non-league clubs, the Rams are built on resilience, local pride and a deep love for the game, values that have carried them through every high and low since the merger. It's been just over a month since Beaconsfield Town bowed out of the Berks and Bucks Cup, a match many considered the club's biggest of the season, especially given the context of their league form. Since then, the Rams have settled into a mid-table position with two fixtures remaining, in what's widely been described as a mixed and somewhat underwhelming campaign. All attention turns to their next fixture, an away trip to Flackwell Heath at Wilkes Park. Flackwell Heath are fighting for a playoff spot, and a win against Beaconsfield would solidify their position in the top tier of the league. For the Rams, this match is all about seeking revenge after losing twice to Flackwell Heath this season, both in the league and the cup. Beaconsfield Town will be determined to halt their local rivals' playoff push, playing for pride and the chance to end their season on a high note. Before kick-off, we caught up with the head of media for Beaconsfield Town to gain an inside look at how the club's staff operate on match days.
My name is Craig Anderson. I'm the head of media for Beaconsfield Town. Briefly, it is to support my team, to get the content out for each game, to make sure that our fans know about our games, and to make sure that we look the best on social media that we can possibly do. I think people these days won't go to a website, they'll go to a social media account, and I want Beaconsfield Town's social media account to look the best. So for me, it's about making sure that that looks the best.
Yeah, is that for both women and men's team?
Yeah, it is, and we said off camera, it's a little bit of a unique way we run our social media. Our men's and women's come off the same account. Other clubs will have like a men's and then a women's separately, but we don't. We have it all on the same account. Yeah. But yeah, my role is the same for both. It's all over the whole club. I'll get to the game for about 90 minutes before the match. Get the team off our chief exec, Peter, put that up on social media, make sure my Jake, Josh, Ben, Aaron, all my sort of team, or for the girls, it's Sophie and T, or Jonathan, everyone that's there with us that day, make sure they're okay and they've got everything they need. Or if it's an away game, make sure they're okay. And then basically making sure that, we capture some footage before the game to put on our sort of Instagram stories, like the walkouts. I do a lot of the walkout videos for TikTok and Instagram, and just kind of trying to make it a big song and dance, because, sometimes we don't get many following us when we're away, or, for me, it's all about trying to make people think, like, immerse themselves to think they're actually there, and and then cover the game. Basically, if I could do a varying different roles in a game depending on how many people was with us. I might be tweeting in game, I might be doing pitch side videos, I might be doing the match report. Like, there's, I will do everything unless we have people there that are with me in that team, and that can vary game to game. It really can. I might be biased. I do. I think it is something the club does really well. I would put us up there with certainly in the top 3 or 4 in this league, particularly with the men. There's a couple of clubs that have, bigger teams than we do, and I think we've got a pretty good sized team for the level we're at. So I think it's up there, definitely, but this is the first year I've been here, so, who's to say next year won't get better. I think the consistency that we've provided has been really good. From a personal perspective, I've had nice things said about the content, and yes, okay, I head it up, but I don't do all the content. Both of you do a lot of the content. Jonathan does, Ben does, our remote student Shireen, she does. So the consistency of the content has been really pleasing, and for people to say that and recognise that as well, that have been at the club a long time. Our TikTok account started at nothing this season. It's brand new. It's got nearly 3,500 followers. That was really pleasing. And yeah, I say the consistency has been key for me this year. The community is a big one. I was recruited, I think is a fair word, from another club. Because of people I knew in the women's team. That community at Beaconsfield brought me in and very quickly made me feel like I've been here forever, and I can't even picture myself working anywhere else. So it's definitely a community that I'm proud to be part of. In regards to like how I've immersed the media team as such, I mean, you two are prime examples of that. You know, you're Amersham College, and you know, yes, it's Amersham Beaconsfield, but it's still part of like, you know, working with students, working with young people
in the area as well, right?
Absolutely, and giving them an opportunity to come in. And I think I've always tried to allow people to like make mistakes, because if you make mistakes here, I'm fine with that, because one day both of you and other students that have worked here, I think, will go up and work in bigger clubs and, you know, do really well, and that's when you can't make mistakes. So I'd rather you make them here, and just try and be that nurturing person that people can come to and just sort of feel happy to speak to about stuff.
As both teams walk out onto the field, it's worth noting that Beaconsfield will be wearing their light blue away kit, while Flackwell appear in their traditional red and white. As the game kicks off at Wilkes Park, Beaconsfield Town immediately find themselves facing an uphill battle, going 2-0 down within the first 10 minutes, courtesy of a Victor Makowski double. After several missed chances, Beaconsfield Town finally get on the score sheet with Josh Markon, reducing the deficit to 2-1 as the first half draws to a close. The second half sees Beaconsfield pushing hard for an equaliser, but with a lack of conviction in front of goal, they struggle to capitalise on their chances. The Heathens hold on to their lead, securing a 2-1 victory over Beaconsfield as the final whistle blows.
Yes!
This result marks Beaconsfield's third straight loss to Flackwell Heath this season, while today's win for Flackwell guarantees them a playoff spot. At the end of full time, we caught up with Beaconsfield Town's captain, Matty Harriott, to hear his thoughts on the team's performance this season and gain a player's perspective on the challenges they faced.
So my name is Matty Harriott. I'm a central midfielder and I joined Beaconsfield for the second time at the start of this season. I think as a team it's probably been a season of two halves. I think sort of up until Christmas we hadn't quite got going. We were a bit of a new group, a few teething problems, you know, probably not performing at the level quite we would have expected to. I think sort of post-Christmas, sort of January into the new year, I think we went on a really good run. I think it's been sort of, once we've settled on a team, I think sort of collectively we've all started to sort of gel together better. And yeah, I think the second half of the season has been really positive. I think there's been a few sort of post-January, but I would say probably the one I enjoyed most, probably the Berkhamsted win. I think we obviously played them around sort of Christmas time and the game got called off and we were sort of 2-1 up, and I think to sort of go again against a really top team in this league and go and get a good result against them, I think that was a testament to sort of for how far we'd come. A couple of things. I think Togs and Tom have done a terrific job, first and foremost. I think sort of those guys coming in, I think they've been very clear in sort of communicating the way that they want us to play, the way, the sort of things that they value in football, and they've kind of like how they've sort of translated that onto the pitch. I think having a settled group, I think has really sort of helped. I think it took a little time. I think obviously at the beginning of the season, half the lads never met each other before. I'd probably say more than half.
It's been quite a new team, right?
Exactly. So I think after a bit of time, we've got a settled group, new management come in, new system, very clear sort of directions and instruction how we want to play, and I think that's all led to a more positive outcome. It's the group. I think the group's been very young from the get-go, which is great. I think you've seen a lot of good young players sort of coming through, being given opportunities in the team, and really taking them. I think it's like, particularly, I think Josh, I think Eli at points this season have really grown into key members of the team, having not really played much men's football before. So for me, sort of being one of the older heads in the team, you kind of feel a little bit more responsibility to try and help those guys out, not put too much pressure on them, but give them sort of a bit of guidance, a bit of wisdom.
And being the captain as well, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just trying to find ways to communicate with the younger lads in a way that kind of works for them, and trying to get the best out of them, really. So I've really enjoyed it. I think it's been a challenge, but it's something that I've really enjoyed. Oh yeah, it's terrific. I think especially those games, like today's an example, Flackwell at home, both times, where sort of you get all the the supporters coming out and especially the kids. I think it kind of gives you that kind of extra boost and lift that you're not just playing football for a club or a badge. You're playing for a sort of a community and a collective. And I think amongst the group we've really started to recognise that, and that message again has been clear from the top. And yeah, it kind of gives you that extra boost and push that you to try and run that extra bit, try and score that extra goal. So, yeah, I think it's meant a lot to us. I think Beaconsfield is I think I said earlier that it's the second time I've been at the club. I think I only had a positive experience the first time round, and so when the opportunity to come back, it was like a 100% yes for me. It's a club that I like. I think they've got great people working behind the scenes in the background, good people, honest people, friendly people. And yeah, it's just an environment you like to be around, whether you're playing football in the bar after the game, whatever it is. It's a community, it's a collective, and it's something that I'm really proud to be a part of.
The Rams head into their final game of the season against 10th place Ware. With both teams safe from relegation and out of the promotion race, there's not much riding on the result. But Beaconsfield, sitting 11th on 50 points, will still want to finish strong in front of the home crowd at Holloway's Park. A win would put them level on points with Ware, though goal difference means they won't move up the table. Still, with pride on the line, both sides will be aiming to end the season on a high note. Beaconsfield Town suffer a 3-0 home defeat in the final game of the 2024-25 season. As the referee blows the whistle for the last time this campaign, the visiting side walk away with a well-earned win. For the Rams, it's a frustrating end as they struggle to find a convincing breakthrough, a performance they'll want to move on from. While the result isn't what they hoped for, it offers valuable lessons as they prepare for next season, finishing the campaign in 11th place. At the end of full time, we caught up with Beaconsfield's head coach, Sam Togwell, to get his thoughts on the team's overall season and what lies ahead as preparations begin for next campaign. As the season comes to an end, the club holds an end-of-season awards ceremony. The interviews we carried out throughout this documentary gave us a clear indication of just how vital the local community is to Beaconsfield Town FC and to non-league football as a whole. This opens us to reflect not just on the results, but on the people who make it all possible. At this level of the game, it's a community that keeps the club alive. Volunteers, fans, players and staff, all working together to carry Beaconsfield Town forward. In a sport often dominated by big budgets and global attention, clubs like this remind us of football's roots. Week in, week out, it's about passion, pride and perseverance. As the awards are handed out and the team reflects on a season filled with hard work and resilience, one thing is clear, the sense of belonging remains strong. In non-league football, a season isn't just about results, it's about the people, the place and the story that keeps unfolding.
And again, a big thank you to the players, the biggest thing. The manager's only as good as his players.